Airbending. Cool VFX, character development, and ignoring the past. All four elements is needed if we are going to enjoy the new live-action Avatar: The Last Airbender Netflix series. But behold, we are buckled in and are anxiously awaiting to see what will become of the new Netflix series. I, for one, am excited to see some killer VFX. But hang on to your flying bisons for just a moment. We all remember M. Night's rendition that didn't pull out too well in the box office or with the fans.
My name is Ong.
I'm Ang.
Well, great, now I don't know who to believe. Forgive and forget, right? Yeah, right. Hang on though, I am almost willing to forgive all the bad acting and story gaps if the bending and VFX are amazing. Let's do some research and see if we can get a clue to what the VFX for the Avatar: The Last Airbender series could look like, and let's have some fun along the way. Quick notes before I begin. I don't envy the positions of the people who are working on the series right now and are trying to figure this out. They are dealing with an already hurt fan base. We know from other examples, creating a live action movie based on a cartoon is very difficult. Recently, both original creators of the cartoon series, Mike DiMartino and Brian Knitsko, announced on Facebook to fans that they backed out from being the producers/showrunners of the live-action Netflix series because of creative differences. I want to respect them, but I also want the new series to be good. And without their influence, I am assuming we are in for a unique experience. For the story and the bending, good or bad, I don't know. But for this video, I wanted to explore some possible cool effects. Watching the cartoon series again was a blast from the past, and it was awesome. Luckily, I didn't have to use that old janky website from way back when. It took about 1 hour just to load a page.
Worth it.
I think it makes sense to go through each of the elements to see how each one will fare. All right, so let's start with some firebending. So firebending's pretty cool, obviously. I always thought firebending was the more aggressive of all the elements. They're always throwing punches and kicks. It's always these swift motions. There are a few examples where they're able to use the flames to help give them a boost or even jump. Like in this instance with Zuko and Azula. Boo! Right there. Did you see that? Again. Boo! Right there. One thing I really disliked about the live action film that we got was it wasn't as quick to see the firebending occur. They also couldn't conjure the flames out of thin air. There had to be existing flames or fire in order to firebend. I didn't like that at all. Not to mention it took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 moves or so to just get one flame. That will not be allowed. So looking around the internet for some inspiration of what firebending could look like, I found this video from Slow Mo Guys. Oh man, that was loud. I found this video from the Slow Mo Guys where they use shape charges. I really like how fast and directional you can see the flames are. Like this is really slow, but I thought this was a great example of what firebending could look like when impacting with something else. There should definitely be some force behind it. I was happy to see that Reanimate took a jab at doing some firebending. I thought it was a lot better than what M. Night gave us. So in comparison, I thought this was loads better. And if you haven't already, go check out the full episode. Waterbending is an interesting beast. When water is traveling really fast, it will disperse after a short distance and turn more into a spray, like a waterfall does. Not sure if we should take that into account, but let's put that in our back pockets for now. Also, we'll need to make sure the waterbending seems threatening enough when in a fight. Waterbenders can turn the water into ice, which is more threatening, right? So I imagine we'll see a lot of that effect. I don't want to get into blood bending too much. Even though it is a benefit of waterbending, it might show up for one episode for a crazy twist, but blood bending is seriously cheating, so I don't imagine the element of waterbending will show up too much in the live action series. Now that I said that, watch it be a whole season worth of content. Waterbending should have healing and the ability to bend the humidity in the air. I wanted to make sure to include that. I like the idea that waterbenders could surf around everywhere, but it's kind of lower on my personal priority list. It just seems like a lot of work for production. Earthbending is awesome. The challenge here is going to be how much power to give this bending element. Toph's character arc adds a lot of complexity to earthbending. She is constantly showing us new skills and elements to earthbending. It'll be hard to say what limits earthbending will have in the live action series. I'll start by simply adding what elements should and should not be in the series. One thing will definitely not be included is 6 guys who can earthbend just dancing around. Earthbending has the strongest defense. Defense walls, defense pillars, love it, keep it. Bending huge boulders around, check. Teamwork to throw bigger boulders, of course. I think that will give us a good starting point for earthbending. Lastly, but not least, is airbending. You can fly, period. Makes this bending already so cool. Adding the element of the nomad lifestyle makes this feel more like the Shaolin monks, and they are also super cool and powerful. Win-win. This may seem off topic, but the airbending in The Legend of Korra seems more powerful than The Last Airbender. Maybe the difference is Aang was a kid and Tenzin was an airbending master. Nonetheless, here are some elements we need to have. Flying, really good reflexes, powerful air strikes. A big question I have is, how are we going to see the airbending? I think M Night did have something right. We had the dust. However, since 95% of the takeaways so far have been how to avoid previous mistakes, I am sure it will look different in the end. Maybe more gusts of wind coming from the hands and the feet versus the environment. I'm stumped, really. Side note, do you think the tattoos will be in the series? Reason I ask is that not having it could save money on makeup costs. Let's debate. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Your final chakra will be unlocked if you do so. Just kidding. We also create short films and other filmmaking related content. Keep an eye out for it. This is Derek signing off. Good night.